Okay, all right. Okay, nice. Let's do this. Checking also the YouTube page to see if we got people on board. Na, 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 na. Never forget you. Da, na, da, na, 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 na. Da, na. All right, there we go. We're live on YouTube also. Hi, YouTube students. If you can see me, say hi. That'd be great. Hello, Tiff. Hello, Tiff, Hashini, also Athanasius. Welcome to our class for today. I'm talking to the Form 3 students, and let's begin our class by sharing the slides. In 3, 2, 1. All right. Hi, everyone. Today, I'm talking to Form 3 students. My name is Cikgu Umar. You joined my eKelas. Thank you for joining us for today. We're going to go through question tags. All right. So, when is a question tag made up of? Switch this up a bit by saying, what is a question tag made up of? So what is a question tag made up of? Hi, Ivan, and also Prasad, also Atika, hi. All right, so what is a question tag made up of? Is it A question tag is made up of a statement and a question, B, made up of a statement and a tag, or C, a question and an answer? Now, if you notice, we're asking you to guess which one from the three questions here, answers here. We want to see what your natural bias is. If you get it right, good job. Your field answer was correct. If it was wrong, we can now know that your feeling is kind of off. You want to make sure to fix it so that in the future, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So today, what is a question tag made up of? A, B, or C? So Hashwini answers C. So we have a guess for C here. If any other guesses? Hi, thanks. THX, thanks also to Hashwini for answering. So C, Athanasius answered C also. Any more answers from the group? Thanks, answer C. ABDXL, hi. Atika says C also. So I think we all agree on the answer, it being C. So let's check the answers in 3, 2, 1. Or, oh, okay.
Cikgu tak dengar.
Here is, hello? Hello? Okay.
Dengar, Cikgu dengar.
Okay. All right. So here we go. So what is a question tag made up of? Here I want you to make the notes now, please. For example, here, so write down sentence, she is happy, isn't she? She is happy, underline that, put down statement. So this is statement. And then isn't she is the tag. So you want to then underline isn't she as the tag. So that's the full format right there. All right. Before I continue, can I just check to see if everyone can hear me? Everyone can hear me, say hello.
Hello.
All right, thank you. Alright, so now that I know you can hear me, so I tak perlu risau dah cakap kadang setengah jam cakap tak dengar langsung. Malu. Okay, so now we know this. Can everyone please write this down? A question tag doesn't come often as a question, but if it does in the exams, it's a really easy way to get a mark. But oftentimes students get confused. Nampak aja, I dah ready for past tense, future tense, present tense, continuous tense. Tapi apa tu question tag? So write down question tag on your notes. Alright? So now that we've gotten that cleared, let's move on to the next part. So, the drawing scale. If the main clause is in an affirmative format, so affirmative is kita setuju lah, it's a positive thing, a negative tag is used, expecting a positive answer. For example, she is happy, isn't she? Yes, she is. Is there an explanation of this in Malay? Dia bahaya kan? Ke tak? You know? Kedok. I guess that's the most closest one I can think of is you don't. It's like when the first statement is a positive thing, or is an affirmative. She is happy. Isn't she? Then followed by yes, she is. Isn't she here is in a negative. So there's a negative tag right there. So she is happy is the affirmative. That you are affirming she is happy. Isn't she will then be in the negative. And then the following answer, yes, she is yes. Expecting, because usually an answer isn't given. A question tag is just a format for that. So if you don't see an answer, it's fine. You have to understand that if the first thing is affirmative followed by negative. So she isn't happy, is she? Is the opposite, where your main clause, the main clause here, your statement is main clause, is in the not in the affirmative, then isn't she is in the positive. So that's how you form a question tag. You can't go, she is happy, is she? Is she then becomes a question, so it's a whole different thing. So, all right, next part. So now we go to when do we use a positive question tag? When do we use a positive question tag? Is it A positive question tag is used when we make a positive statement and we do not want to check its truthfulness. B is used when we make a positive statement and we want to check its truthfulness. We want to check it. Or C is used when we make a negative statement and we want to check its truthfulness. So if you joined me for the previous sessions, I've mentioned it before, English, the language talks about truthfulness. It really talks about affirmation, about referral, knowing that the base underline of the truth of English is that whatever you say is the truth. And that when you lie, it becomes a trickier part of the language. So the English language is based on the assumption that everything is said is true. So when using question tags, we talk about truthfulness. Are we following? So THS answer Y, answer B. I hope that helped you answer and made it clear for yourself. Okay, cool. Okay. So it's A, B, or C for this one. When do we use a positive tag? Is it A, B, or C? If one says B, a positive question tag is used when we make a positive statement and we want to check its truthfulness. With any other answers? iPhone, hello. So for the Zoom class, if you haven't changed your name, please change your name so that I know who to refer to. If not, I'll just see iPhone, which I don't think is a person, because it's a brand, so I can't really answer that. It just feels weird. So if one says B, let's see, the answer is B. The answer is C. Dr. Croft says A. The answer is C, actually. I do apologize for that. So a positive question tag is used when we make a negative statement and we want to check its truthfulness. Cikgu, confusingnya kenapa kalau positive question tag is negative? Because the question tag is positive. So if you remember, I asked you to take notes of what's the statement and what's the question tag. The question tag here is specifically referring to here. So this is why I remind my students to take notes. Question tag refers to the end of the statement. The statement is this. This is the clause, the statement, whatever you refer to it as, this is not part of the question tag. I mean, it's part, but it's not the whole. When you refer to question tag, it's here. You tag the question. Tag itu tampal. Itu tampal soalan kat ujung ayat tu. Kalau apa kan? Kalau apa statement. Kan is the tag question there. Kalau apa ke dong? That kind of format. So close, Ivan. But it's okay. It's why it's good to know this. Now you know that you had a good guess, but you can't double guess your answer. Now you know the specifics to the answer. Why the answer is C. C and RC. So question tag is specifically here. A positive question tag is in the positive format. Isn't is a negative format of the question tag following a negative statement. So there we go. So she is not happy. Negative, not. She is not happy. Is she? So that's the format we go for. So now that we know and understand what a positive question tag and a negative question tag looks like and when to use them, again, for those who just joined us, hi, my name is Teacher Umar. This is my eKelas. We're going to learn about English and question tags. A question tag, I'll refer back to the previous slide, is this. So if you ever got the chance yet, please write down this question, this format sentence, okay? So like I'll pause, I'll just wait for another 1 minute. Please write down this format, which is statement followed by question tag. I'll remind you again. This is what we're going to look for today. This is statement. This is the statement, or otherwise known as main clause. It's a statement or main clause. It's a statement or main clause. Please write it down. And then followed by question tag. This is the question tag. And the question tag comes in the polar opposite of the statement. If the statement is positive, the statement tag is negative. If the statement tag is positive, the question is negative. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? The main clause negative, question tag is. So I'll wait for everyone to answer that, and I'll go back to the main slide. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So sampai nampak tu, kita buat tak nampak. But here we go. So now we have number 1. Aiman is hungry. Aiman is hungry. Aiman is hungry. So some information we can gather from that. Aiman is usually a boy, so we'll refer to them as he. Remember, we're using pronouns when it comes to question tags. We don't say their name anymore. And is hungry is in the positive. So positive. So here should be in the negative. Sorry, this should be in the negative, and it needs to have something there. So what is it? What is the answer for number 1? Yvonne says, isn't he? So that's a good guess. We'll find out the answers after this, but we'll put down there first, isn't he? Do we have any other answer? Do we have any other answers from the other students? Anyone else want to try? The craft says, isn't he? So we have an agreement here that the answer could be, isn't he? Nicely done. Good job, Dr. Craft. All right, so now we'll move on to number 2. Number 2, the girls aren't going to school. The girls, so girls are plural. So what's the pronoun used for plural people? Aren't going to school. Aren't is negative here. Are not going to school. So the question tag has to be in what format and referring to which pronoun? Are she? Are she? So girls, however. So if there's plural she, THX, good job, isn't he? But I think you're a bit back, bit behind on the video play. I'll ask THX, please make sure to have your slider or your playlist pushed all the way to the right. That way you have it live. Yvonne says, are they? So they, and I don't know, says are they also. So they is the correct pronoun to use. So I'll put it down. The girls aren't going to school. Are they? So number 3, Daryl is angry with his sister. So Daryl, singular person, so single person here, is angry with his sister. So we know the pronoun for this one now is his. So if the statement is in this format, is, which is positive, the question tag has to be in the yes, Yvonne, it's in the negative. So isn't he? Good job, everyone. Yuvaraj answers, is he? Okay, Yuvaraj, I think you just joined this. If you don't have if you get a chance, please rewind a bit. But just a reminder for everyone: if the statement is in the positive, the question tag is in the negative. Example being number 1, Ayman is hungry. That's a positive statement. Ayman is hungry. You're affirmative of the statement. Question tag that follows has to be in the negative. Is it He isn't is a negative, and he is the pronoun used for Aiman. So we always use the pronoun instead. We don't refer to them as the name. So number 4, Sandy and Joanne are having their lunch. So Sandy and Joanne are two people. What do we use here as the pronoun, and what format are we going for the question tag? We know that the statement here, the Sandy and Joanne are having their lunch. Everything before the comma is the statement. That is the main premise, is in the positive. So if that's the statement, the question tag has to be in the negative and followed by the pronoun they. Yes. So I don't know, answered aren't they. So that's the correct answer, I think. We'll find out later after this. Aren't they? So yeah, I think everyone's on the same page now. We understand that if the statement's positive, the question is a negative. I've said this so many times. I think even you are getting tired about it. Are you? Aren't you? So you are tired. What's the answer for this one? So you are tired. So you is already somewhat the pronoun, I guess. So you can use it. And you are is positive. So the negative is. Hi, Gabriel. Thank you for joining us. You are tired. So you here. You aren't you. So I don't know what's that aren't you. Good job. All right, number 6. The doctor gave you some medicine. The doctor gave you some medicine. So aren't isn't is in the present tense. The doctor gave here is the past tense. So here's some hints here now. Now it's getting a bit more specific. Gave you is in the past tense. So what format should answer be in? It should also be in the past tense. Next, the doctor. So the doctor here, we have to assume a gender. For now we have to go with he. So doctor gave you some medicine. What pronoun? What could we go here? Didn't she? Didn't he? Regardless, what's the main form answer here then? We could go with she. I don't mind that. Anyone have a guess for the answer for number 6? Not yet, I guess. No answers just yet. Live chat. Just checking. Okay. All right. So I'll put down the answer for this one. I'll put down didn't she because there's no hint to whatever gender we're supposed to refer to. We can put either one. Didn't they also is also that does also work because they is a pronoun for a person in which we are not sure. So we don't put didn't it because it's the doctor is a human. So generally we won't use it for humans. We can go with he, she, or they. Generally, if a conversation has been happening in a fuller text or in a fuller contextual conversation, we'll understand which gender to refer to. In this case, we weren't given it. Usually we'll go with he, but now we're going towards the fact that if we don't know, we'll either use they or he or she. So for this one, didn't they, I'll put down here. But for exams, I would recommend you either using he or she. All right. Number 7. I don't know, didn't they? Pun boleh. So I'm not saying that's wrong. Even though the answer later will be a different one, it's generally because it's a general statement. Number 7. Gary has not done his homework. So now we know specifically what's going on here. We know that Gary is referred to as his. So we know that we can use the pronoun his. So we can use the same gender pronoun he. So Gary has not done his homework. Gary has not done his homework. Has is the word we use here. So it's has not. So the positive format would be, what's the answer here? What's the question tag? What question tag can we form here? So I don't know, put on here, didn't he? But again, a reminder here, the verb here is has. If you notice, we usually use the same verb here. So is, isn't, aren't, are. So if the verb here is has, what verb should we use here? Hasn't he? Hasn't he? But Gary has not done his homework. It's already in the negative. Here's the tricky part here now. So if it's already has not, the positive version is See, it wasn't shortened, it was has not. So it's why we have to read it properly here. So I don't know, it says has he. So we'll put down has he first. I think a good guess, but the problem here is that the main sentence here is has not. Has not is just the full form of the sentence, hasn't. So if that's already the format, negative, the question tag has to be in the positive. Let's try one more time for number 8. Number 8, everyone. Okay, everyone ready? Number 8, the dancers are performing tonight. Positive statement, verb are, dancers plural. What is the question tag? I'll show it out again one more time. Dancers, so plural. Are is the verb being used, the verb. So, and this is in the positive format. So this has to be in the what? Aren't they? Good job. I don't know. Athanasius, Augustine, also, and Hashwini and Diva. So everyone's a bit late for coming in. Just a reminder for what we're doing today. We're talking about question tags. I'll do a quick recap after this, after we finish resolving this session, okay? The dancers are performing tonight, aren't they? Betul, I don't know, Atika and also yeah, betul. Yes, because if the statement is positive, the question tag is negative. But don't take my word for it. Let's check the answers now in 3, 2, 1. Ayman is angry, isn't he? Girls aren't going, are they? Daryl is angry, isn't he? Sandy and Joanne are having their lunch, aren't they? You are tired, aren't you? The doctor, didn't he, she, or they? Number 7, Gary has not done his homework, has he? 8, the dancers are performing tonight, aren't they? So again, generally we can use that. Currently in English, it's a bit confusing right now, but the conversation about when to use they or not is a whole long topic. For your level right now, it's fine to use either he or she. So for those who are wondering about number 6 being a very interesting question right now, you can either use he or she, simply because the doctor here is in a singular format, all right? So again, for everyone, for exam purposes, I'll ask you to either use he or she, because we weren't given information in the sentence alone about which pronoun to use. All right. So now that we understand this format, for those who just joined this, I'm gonna do a quick recap. So everyone who's watched this before, if you've already understood this format, you can take a 1 minute, 2 minute break. This is for the benefit for those who just joined this. I'm going to quickly recap this so that they don't miss out. And it's a good way to recap for the lesson. What are we talking about today? We're talking about question tags. What is a question tag made of? It's made of a statement and followed by the tag itself. So this is a statement, this is the tag. All right, so if you understand this, you're good to go. You have to guess anymore. So that's the format we're looking at. Quickly looking here, if the understanding is that if the statement is positive, the tag is negative. If the statement is negative, the tag is positive. It's an opposite. So you have to remember that. Finally, if the verb is used, it's also in the tag as is. And if the pronoun here is that to be, the pronoun also follows whatever person, subject you're referring to. So that's the final part of it, which we learned and fine-tuned in the question that we just did. It's now 4:54. I don't think we have much time to continue much further, and we're almost done anyway. So here's the last question, 1 to 8. What I'll ask you to do is this, and simply this. You're all Form 3 students. I'll ask that you try and answer 1 to 8 as fast as you can in one sitting, which means I don't want you to send one by one. I don't need you to answer one by one the question. What I need you to do is answer everything in one submission. Good job, Hashwini. Thank you. I'm glad you understand. Athanasius is a bit confused. It's all right. This video is recorded. We will upload it in the portal and we'll come back. You can always rewind this video after the video is done live, and you to take some time to reset it, but it will be available online soon. But just a reminder, a question tag is not the full sentence. The tag part is specifically this. These are all the tags, and they come in the opposite of the statement. If the statement is positive, this is positive. This needs to be in the negative. So an example here, number 1, I'll give a number 1 as an example. Mandy is in the shower. Is not correct because is the positive also. We need to change is to negative. So it's isn't he. All right. So these are the base rules we need to follow by. The other one we didn't mention in the slides is that the verb used in the statement is the verb we use usually in the tag. However, there are some uh, situations where that's not true. For example, we saw that the doctor gave the person medicine. Like the doctor gave you some medicine, didn't he? So it's because the question that would have been here is, did the doctor give you something, or did the doctor give you medicine? So that's why it's not a statement rule, but usually rule of thumb, if it is or are, the verb follows through. But generally it's usually question lah. Depends on question. All right, does anybody have the answers for number 1 till 8? Yvonne? However, I want to say this, the DAB is kind of outdated already, so I don't know if you still do it. I don't think people still do it anymore, but if you do, for the sake, because we have a tag. All right, so number 1, I've given the answer already. So number 2, anyone have answer for number 2? No? All right, since we don't have any more time anymore, I'm going to quickly share the answers. If you want to attempt this, feel free to pause and try first and then come back to the video later. But this is for the benefit for all the students here. This will help you give a better idea of what it looks like. So here are 8 examples of what proper question tags look like. Remember, this left side's all incorrect. So the right sides are the correct ones. Number 1, Mandy is in the shower. Isn't she? Number 2, Joseph will do his homework. Won't he? Number 3, you are going to school today. Affirmative. Aren't you? That's negative. Number 4, the birds are chirping. Aren't they? The problem here is for singular, aren't is for plural. The birds are plural. Number 5, Maria isn't herself today. Are you? Maria is one person. Is she? Number 6, Trevor is at home. Won't she? Isn't he? Is the appropriate one here. Number 7, they are at the supermarket. Do we? No, it's followed by aren't they? And finally, number 8, you don't like grapes. You don't like grapes. Does he? Is incorrect. It's do you, because you as what the person we're referring to. And again, we weren't given enough information to identify who or what pronoun do we use for the person being referred to. Again, you, so it's genderless. So there we go. And that's finally it. That's the end of the class for today. Today we discussed question tags. We talked about the main statement and the positive and the negative format and how to form the statement and the tag. I hope everyone understands what we discussed today. I hope it helped make it clear for you. If you still have any questions, feel free to ask. We have a teacher on the chat to answer. We also have someone online on portal 2 to answer. So please find yourself there. Until then, my name is Teacher Umar. Thank you for joining our class for today. Thank you for joining our class for today. This has been Max's eKelas brought to you by Max's, and I thank you for joining our class. I'll see you next week, and until then, bye. Also, bye Zoom students. You feel free to
Bye,
say
sir.
bye, Ashwini. Thank you for joining, and thank you for your questions. Good job. Thank you, Athanasia. Thank you, Thiv Hashini. Again, if I mispronounce your names, you can feel free to call me out and say, hey, my name's like this. I'll try my best to pronounce it correctly. Until then, bye-bye. Thank you so much. Thank you, YouTube students. Thank you, I don't know. Thank you, Atika. Thank you, Sheikh Nasrullah bin Sheikh Zafrullah. Thank you to the THX and Sylvester Iran. Thank you so much for joining us for today. Bye-bye.